What's up, guys? My name is Justin. Welcome back to the channel today, and we are going to be talking about different ladder tiers that you can go through in iRacing to reach whatever series you're trying to aim for. I will remember to link the video down below, but about 15 years ago or so, iRacing did a video about all their content at the time and the series they offered, and how you could progress through the license levels, drive the different content if you had a goal to reach, say, Open Wheel or the NASCAR Cup Series or IMSA or Formula One or whatever you wanted to drive. They had a ladder system of how to get there. Now, it's been a long time. Like I said, it's been almost 15 years since they released that video, and they haven't ever really made a follow-up. And I thought it would be an awesome idea to do just that, because now there's so many more series to offer, so many more destinations that you can reach based on what you want to drive and how you want to choose to get there. So we're going to kind of break that down today, and I'll have a couple suggestions about the different series you can try, how I would suggest to reach them, what kind of content you need to buy as far as cars go, at least. Obviously, the tracks are going to vary wildly, but this is just going to be kind of my breakdown, and we'll see how this goes. So, once again, I appreciate you all so much. I hope you enjoy this. Going to be hopefully an insightful discussion about kind of the tiers through iRacing that you can reach, and let me know what you think of it. Make sure you drop that like and sub down below if you enjoy it. I greatly appreciate you all so much, and let me know. We're trying the background sound thing again for free use music to kind of have something going on when I'm not talking, but it's going to be basically a talking video. So let me know what you think, if you like it, don't like it, if it's too loud, too quiet, if I should do it again next time I have kind of a discussion video like this or anything else. So let me know. Anyways, we're going to kind of go, as you can see across the top there, dirt road, dirt oval, formula car, sports car, and the oval, because of course now for about a year, a little more than a year, we've had 5 licenses. So we'll start off on Dirt Road just because it's the most simple. The different series you can run are the Rookie Class B to Light and Pro 2 Light, in D Class Pro 4 Fixed and B to Light Open, in C Class Rallycross Fixed and Pro 2 Fixed, and then in B Class Pro 2 Open, Pro 4 Open, or Rallycross Open with heat racing. So pretty straightforward. I mean, you're either going to drive basically Rallycross or the off-road Pro Trucks. It's pretty built out for you, honestly. There's only one choice you have to make. Rallycross, you just naturally go B to Light Open, Rallycross Fixed, Rallycross Open. Easy enough, straightforward, done. Pro Trucks, excuse me, Rookie Class Pro 2 Light, D Class Pro 2 Fixed, Pro 4 Fixed, Pro 2 Fixed, and then once you get to B Class, you can drive Pro 4 Open or Pro 2 Open. They both have options in B Class. No A Class series for Dirt Road. But that's the easiest one of the bunch. That's Dirt Road, done and dusted. There's no real thoughts, because once you get to B Class, if you like Pro Trucks, you probably drive both of these, and Pro 2 is basically dead anyways. So that's just that, pretty straightforward. So Dirt Oval becomes a little more complicated. The rookie series are micro, non-winged, micro winged, mini stock, and street stocks. D Class is the limited late model, the 358 mod, 305 sprint car, and Dirt Legends car. C Class Pro late model, open and fixed. UMP modified fixed, the big block open and fixed, 360 wingless sprint car, midget open and fixed, 360 open and fixed. I miss open, doesn't matter. 360 fixed at least is in there. Maybe there's no open, I'm mistaken. But anyways, and then the Outlaw Micro or the C Class Dirt Street Stock. And then B Class is the super late model open and fixed, the UMP mod open, 410 sprint car open and fixed, and the 410 wingless sprint car. So again, no A class series offered in Dirt Oval, but again, if you run B class and you get your SR, you'll get promoted to A class anyway, so it's kind of irrelevant. So there are 3 different tiers I think you can kind of chase if you're running on Dirt Oval. You can work on your sprint cars / open wheel cars. You can work on your late model / fendered cars, or you can work on modifieds if you're from like the Northeast. I know that's a thing up there. So if you're going to chase sprint cars or open wheel, you'd start out in the micro winged sprint or the non-winged sprint, either or. And then once you reach D class, you'd move up to the 305 sprint car or the Dirt Legends car. Once you reach C class, you can drive the 360 wingless or the midget fixed or open, or the 360 fixed or open, or the Outlaw Micro if you choose. And then once you reach B class, you're driving the 410 sprint car fixed or open, or the 410 wingless if you're incredibly brave. Once we move over to the late models and fendered cars, in rookie class you can drive the Dirt Mini Stock or the Dirt Street Stock, and then in D class you only have one choice, the limited late model. C Class, the Pro Late Model fixed or open, or back to the C Class Dirt Street Stock series, and then in B Class, the Super Late Model fixed or open. And then finally, Dirt Modifieds, if you're a Northeastern guy or just like open wheels but not sprint cars, just a different kind of racing. You can start out in the rookie micro winged or non-winged. Unfortunately, there isn't like a true modified in rookie class. But then in D-Class, you can move up to the 358 mod or the Dirt Legends. I guess you could run Dirt Legends if you don't like the 358 mod. It's still a similar kind of thing. I don't know. I'm just winging this. I don't run Dirt Oval. And then in C-Class, you can run the UMP mod fixed or Big Block fixed and open. They have series for that. And then B-Class, your only option is UMP mod open. So those are kind of the different tiers that you can chase if you're a Dirt Oval guy. And again, obviously, all of these you can mix and match as you please. This is just generally people that are aiming for a certain series, like to drive a certain kind of car. And so most generally, people aren't going to bounce around from the limited late model to the 360 sprint to the super late model all the way up to the 410 sprint type of thing. You usually follow a tier, which is why I've tried to explain this out a little bit for people that are new or aren't sure what kind of series iRacing offers. Over to the Formula Series where it starts to get a little crazy, and then it gets really crazy in the last couple, but we'll get there in a second. So the different series offered: Rookie Class, everybody starts in either the Formula V or the Formula Ford 1600. In D-Class, there's the Formula 4 Regional Series. There are like 4 different ones. There's the Asian one, maybe there's a European one, an American one. I don't remember all of them exactly. There might even be an Australian one. I don't really remember. But there's Regional Series, and then there's a Formula 4 Fixed Series that's separate from those. Skip Barber 2000, USF 2000, which is like on the road to Indy, and then there's an open series for the Formula Ford 1600. In C-Class, we have the classic Formula 1 cars, the Lotus 49 and the Lotus 79, the step up from the USF, which is the Indy Pro 2000 car, IndyCar Mix, which half the schedule is oval tracks and half the schedule is road tracks, so that's actually a really good destination series if you just like IndyCar and you like going back and forth like the real world schedule does. F3 open and fixed, Super Formula Light open and fixed, and then Formula IR01, the fictional car that they kind of came up with to replace an IndyCar / F1 car that's just bonkers. B-Class, you have the Indy Road Fixed Series, which is just short races on road courses only. The Indy Road Open Series, which I think are longer races, open setup obviously, and then Super Formula Open and Fixed. And at A-Class, everything has the Grand Prix using the F1 cars. Grand Prix Fixed and Open is both available. So I kind of split this down again. There's a lot of different ways you can go about this, obviously, but I just kind of broke it down to, okay, open American wheel, European open wheel, and then the Asian open wheel, just because those are basically the regionals that F4 has. That's what I was going off of for my logic here. Obviously, open wheel American, your goal is IndyCar, but we'll talk about that in a second. So, of course, you start out in the V or the Formula Ford if you're in Rookie Class, no matter which tier you're going down. I can't remember if there's a Formula 4 regional for American or not, but let's just assume there is. You can run that or F4 fixed. They do have F4 cars in the United States, contrary to popular belief. I just saw a couple not too long ago at Road America. Or the Skip Barber, of course, is a very popular American open wheel car, or the USF 2000. And then obviously we have the Formula Ford 1600 Open Series. Up in C-Class, you can run the Lotus 49 or 79, again, if you're chasing classic Grand Prix cars, or the Indy Pro 2000, or IndyCar Mix, which again is a great destination series if your goal is to race the IndyCar. Not very difficult to get a C license, and you get kind of the best of both worlds for what IndyCar is in real life. Up in B-Class, you have the Indy Road Fixed or Open Series, depending on how long you want and if you want open steps. And unfortunately, I know there is American F1, obviously, but there is no real true like IndyCar A-Class series. You have to run the Grand Prix car if you're looking for an A-Class series in the Formula 1 cars. So that's the American tree. The European tree, same deal. You start off in either the V or the Formula Ford 1600. In D-Class, you can move to the F4 Regional European Series, F4 Fixed, of course, F4 very popular in Europe, or the Formula Ford 1600, again, Formula Ford extremely popular in Europe. And then in C-Class, you can move again to a classic Grand Prix car in the Lotus 49 or Lotus 79. Again, you can run IndyCar Mixed. IndyCar is still very popular, even though it's an American-based series, still very popular in Europe. F3 Fixed and Open makes its first appearance. We don't really have as much F3 here in the States as you do in Europe. Or again, the Formula IR01 is kind of an IndyCar Formula 1 car hybrid. I didn't really know where to put it because it's a fictional car, so I just kind of likened it to a Formula car. I don't know. And then once you get to B-Class again, you have Indy Road Fixed or Open. Again, there aren't really very many European IndyCar races anymore. There have been in the past or historically, but not really so much anymore. And then, of course, in Europe, you end up in Formula 1. You end up in the Grand Prix Fixed or Open if you're chasing A-Class. And then in the Asian Open Wheel Series, again, you have the Formula V and the Formula Ford 1600, the F4 Asian Regional Series or F4 Fixed, both very popular in Asia. And again, the Formula Ford, this needs another F in here, Formula Ford 1600 Open Series if you want. And then this is where it gets interesting for Asia. You have IndyCar Mixed if you're chasing again IndyCar, or for the first time we see the Super Formula Light, which has both fixed and open, extremely popular in Japan, and I think maybe other parts of Asia, I'm not quite sure, but definitely Japan. And then up in B class, Indy Road Fixture Open again, or the full Super Formula Car Fixture Open again, extremely popular in Japan. Super cool series, amazing cars. That's produced some really incredible drivers over the last several years. So, and then of course A class Asian, you still end up in the Grand Prix series with Formula One Fixed or Open. So. Not a lot of end destinations in Formula for the most part, unless I guess you're chasing kind of the Super Formula thing with the Asian twist on it. But otherwise, you pretty much either end up in IndyCar or Formula One. But that kind of makes sense. Those are the two premier open wheel series in the world right now. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Sports car is where it gets a little bit messy. So in rookie class, everybody starts in either the M2 Fixed Series or the MX5 Fixed Series, both extremely popular. The MX5 especially is top 3 most popular series in the sim pretty much every single season. D class, you have Global Challenge with the Kia and the Cadillac, BMW M Power Challenge, the Spec Racer Ford, TCR Fixed, the Porsche Mission R electric car, GT4 Fixed, the Mustang Challenge, the GR86 Cup, Clio Cup with the Renault, the Legends Cup, Legends Road Cars, Production Car Challenge, Ferrari Challenge, which now has a Ferrari Challenge car instead of the old Ferrari GT3, and Rainmaster, which is GT3 cars all in the rain. C class, we have Porsche Cup Fixed and Open, Supercars and Supercars Australia, no difference other than what server those are on. The Advanced Mazda Series, the Stock Car Brazilian Series, LMP3 Fixed, Ringmeister, where the car changes weekly, but it's always at the Nürburgring, TCR Open, Falcon Challenge, IMSA Vintage, and Radical Cup. At B class, we have GT3 Sprint, which is like 40-minute races open SEP, GT3 Fixed, which are like 20 minutes fixed SEP, GTE, Prototype Fixed using the LMDH cars, and Proto GT using the old HPDs, the GT1s, and the Ford GT2. And then A class sports car, IMSA or IMSA Fixed. So I broke these down to single make series, which is just one car, everybody has an identical car. Single class, which everybody is racing to BOP of some sort in a single class, which may or may not be single make, can also be multiple car brands, and then multi-class, which is obviously class overlaps. You have different performances, different paces of car. It's very common around the world, and is personally my choice, but we'll get to that after we go through the other two. So single make, this is all going to be essentially where everybody's driving the exact same car. Obviously, in rookie class, you start in M2 Fixed or MX5 Fixed. In D class, you can move up to the BMW M Power Challenge, also using the BMW M2, the Spec Racer Ford, the Porsche Mission R, the Mustang Challenge, GR86 Cup, Renault Clio Cup, Legends Cup, or Ferrari Challenge. Lots of options in single make, which is great. In C class, Porsche Cup Fixture Open, obviously Porsche Cup, one of the most well-known single make series in the world. Advanced Mazda as well, which kind of mimics the Mazda MX-5 Idemitsu Cup, whatever it's called now in the United States, and probably around the world as well. Kind of like Spec Miata, but not really. LMP3 Fixed, of course, is all going to be the identical LMP3 here on iRacing. Radical Cup, all using the SR10. Or Ringmeister, again, everybody's in the same car. The only caveat with that, obviously, is you're only at the Nürburgring. So if you're interested in driving a single make car at other places, I guess technically that's not true. Now that I think about it, you have different cars because sometimes you have all GT1s or whatever. So let's go ahead and take that off. Because yeah, sometimes you have like the GT1 class or the GT3 class or the TCR class. So that's not really single make the more I think about it. I just in my head was like, oh yeah, roof is there. So roof, well, it's only one car, but that's not always the case. Unfortunately for single make though, there's no B class series and no A class series. I didn't realize until I put this all together that there were no options for single make series at B and A license, which kind of makes sense. It's kind of an entry-level thing when you think of single make series. There's no like world touring series that I know of that is single make. There are some single class ones, but nothing that I know of that's single make. So that's kind of a shame. But again, a lot of those cars that are used in single make are used in multi-class or in single class things as well. So you can usually find a place to run if you like the cars that are all single make cars like that. Single class. Again, you start on an M2 Fixed or MX5 Fixed if you choose that. For rookie class, again, similar but with some more options in G class, M Power Challenge, and the BMW M2 again, Spec Racer Ford, TCR Fixed, Porsche Mission R, GT4 Fixed, which has a couple different GT4s, as TCR has a couple different TCRs, Mustang Challenge, GR86 Cup, Renault Clio Cup, Legends Road Cup, Ferrari Challenge, or Rainmaster. So Rainmaster is all the GT3s at a various scheduled track every week, but it's always raining. So if you like rain racing, for example, that's a good place to put it. That is the only series on iRacing that always has rain. So great place to learn. I kind of wish they would shake up the car class or the car that's used in Rainmeister from season to season. I get that GT3 is far and away the most popular thing, other than Mazda Cup usually. But I would like to see something else in Rainmaster. Maybe I'm trying to think of what else it could even be, but like GT4s or TCRs, if they just kind of rotated them through so that you had a chance to drive different cars in the rain for a full season, I think that would be really cool. But they haven't done that so far, so who knows. And then at C-Class, single make, of course, Porsche Cup, fixed and open again, Supercars, United States, or Australia. The reason that's not single make, even though they're nearly identical, is technically there's a Chevrolet Camaro, and a Ford Mustang. US or Australian server, again, doesn't matter. Sometimes they have different weather. Advanced Mazda, of course. Stock Car Brazil, again, there are two of them. There's a Corolla and a Chevy Cruze, but they're basically identical. They're just technically different cars. LMP3 fixed, Ringmeister, again, that we already talked about, since sometimes you do have different cars in a single class, but it's always one class. TCR Open, which of course has the couple different TCR classes, and then Radical Cup. And then at B class, you have GT3 Sprint or GT3 Fixed again with all the GT3 cars, GTE, which has all the GTE cars in it, or Prototype Fixed, which has all the LMDH cars in it. And then again, for single class, there isn't anything for A class. I did know this. I know that there was nothing that catered to a single class series at A class, which makes sense. It's just kind of the way it goes. All of these things kind of prepare you for multi-class. It's kind of the point of sports car, in my opinion. Yeah, there are some good lower level single make and single class series, but the top levels of sports cars all around the world are all multi-class. I can't think of anything that's single class or single make that's like a top level destination motorsport. I mean, supercars kind of is for Australians and New Zealanders, but if you're traveling to Europe, especially you're racing in WEC, or in the United States it's IMSA, you're generally looking for multi-class at the top levels. So multi-class, of course, finally M2 fixed or MX5 fixed, just like everything else. It starts in rookie class. In D class, we get to Global Challenge with the Cadillac or the Kia, or my personal favorite series, PCC, with the BMW M2, the GRD6, the Renault Clio, and the MX5. So you get a lot of different options. It's a great entry-level multi-class series to kind of test the waters, see what multi-class is all about. It's a great learning ground. You're not going that fast, so it's not super scary. Short races, no pit stops to worry about, nothing like that. In C-Class, you can go to Falcon Challenge, which is LMP3 and GT4, or IMSA Vintage, which is the Audi 90 or the Nissan Vintage, whatever prototype, whatever that thing is. And then in B-Class, unfortunately, it's just Proto GT. I didn't really think about this either, but I guess it makes sense. One of my other favorite series in the Ford GT2, but it's just the Ford GT2, the Aston and Corvette, excuse me, Aston and Ford GT1 cars, or the Honda HPD Prototype are the only multi-class cars and series in B-Class. And of course, IMSA fixed or open. Great that they have both offerings. Fixed is 35 minutes, open is 45 minutes. Great series, and again, you get LMDH cars, you get LMP2s in there, and GT3s. All of them very, very popular, very well represented series. Great schedules for the most part. And that's kind of the destination series, obviously, with no other A-class series. That's kind of where you're aiming for if you drive sports cars, regardless of where you fall in the tier. But again, like I talked about, all of these, you can stop anywhere along the way. You can say, hey, I am perfectly happy making my home like I've tended to do in PCC. That's a D-class series, and you can have a D license literally in 2 days of joining iRacing. If you just focus and have some clean races. So some people get that far and never bother moving up, or they move all the way up, realize they don't have a different favorite series, and they come all the way back down and race with us for years and years and years in PCC like I have. So nothing wrong with that. This is just the layout of your options if you're trying to reach the top of a certain level or a certain discipline. And finally, last but definitely not least, oval racing. Kind of what iRacing started off, its base, NASCAR roots, but in the rookie series you have Legends cars fixed, street stocks, and mini stocks. In D-Class you have the late model stock fixed, SRX fixed, SK modified, fixed and open, Draft Masters, ARCA, and then Junior Open Wheel, which is a relatively new series, which is awesome to see, that uses the Pro whatever 2000, I never remember the name of the thing, but the Pro Indy Pro 2000, whatever that thing is called, in Junior Open Wheel, which I've heard is a pretty cool series. C-Class Tour Mod fixed and open, Super Late Model fixed and open, Legends Car Cup in C-Class open setup, Gen 4, which is getting a redo here, probably by the time you see this is redone. C-Class fixed and open using the NASCAR trucks. NIS fixed and open, which is kind of the season-long NASCAR Cup schedule, which again is a destination for some people, but technically you would get up to a higher license and still be able to run NIS at C-Class. They just make it a little more accessible. There's a C-Class Street Stock Fixed Series, and then Late Model Stocks Open is in C-Class. In B-Class, you have Indy Oval Fixed, Xfinity B Fixed and Open, the Sprint Car Cup, the Silver Crown Cup, and the NASCAR Legends 1987s. And then in in A-Class, the Cup Series, the Next Gen NASCAR, A Fixed, and A Open. So again, kind of broke this down into 3 different tiers that you can aim for and chase: short track racing, open wheel racing, and NASCAR, of course. Short tracks, you can start out in any of the 3. They all kind of apply. Legends Fixed, Street Stocks, or Mini Stocks, and then move to D-Class, the Late Model Fixed, or the SRX Fixed, or SK Open, or Fixed, or ARCA. ARCA does have a mixed schedule. They run some short tracks, some speedways, but you can still get good experience running short tracks if you choose to run ARCA, even if you just run the short tracks of the ARCA schedule. But all the other ones definitely are short track only series. C-Class, same deal. Tour Mod, Fixed or Open, only short tracks. Super Late Model, Fixed or Open, almost always only short tracks. Occasionally you'll see a weird like mile or mile and a half, but not very often, very, very rarely. The Legends Cup, C-Class with the Open Seps, the C-Class Street Stock Fixed Series or Late Model Stock Open in C-Class is in short tracks. And then really all that's there for B-Class in the short tracks is the Sprint Car, the Silver Crown. Both kind of quirky niche series, but both very fun from what I've heard, and have a strong core of drivers behind them. They're keeping them alive, keeping them strong with their SOF slots. And then once again, there isn't really anything short track A-Class, because it is kind of designed on the sim of iRacing to hone your skills, get a little better as a driver, be more comfortable and better in close quarter combat, comfortable making contact if you have to, sometimes when you don't have to. Some people, we see a lot of that these days, but there is no A-Class short track series currently right now. There are a couple other touring series that are longer seasons, but I didn't include those because they're not consistent week to week. Some of those are not weekly. They're every 3rd week or whatever the case may be. Open wheel. Now, of course, everybody thinks about IndyCar and the Indy 500. I would start personally in the Legends car if you're looking for open wheel, just because, of course, the Street Stock or Mini Stock are fendered cars. Technically, the mods are open wheels, so SK Modified, Fixed and Open again, or the Junior Open Wheel series I talked about. If you're really looking to go true open wheel with a Formula style car, the Indy Pro 2000 is great for that, and it's a great point on this to have a nice D-Class series. That's a true open wheel car. In C-Class, you can run Tour Mod Fixed or Open, or the Legends Cup Open again. And then in B-Class, there's IndyCar Oval Fixed or the Sprint Car. No, that's not right, because the... Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that's B-Class. I'm mistaken. Anyways, you have IndyCar Oval Fixed, or the Sprint Car, or the Silver Crown. Again, they're all open wheel cars. Most people think of open wheel cars as IndyCar, but of course the Sprint Car and Silver Crown are both open wheel cars. They do run on some bigger tracks, of course, but generally they're relatively short tracks. They're not running on 2-mile tracks. I guess Silver Crowns did for a little while, but again, I don't know the status of those series in real life, but definitely on the sim you can see sprint cars and especially Silver Crown run on some bigger tracks from time to time. But again, no A-Class series for open wheel, which is okay, because I think most people are aiming towards IndyCar if you're running open wheel anyways, and that's only needed for B-Class. So, and last but not least, finally, to wrap this up, we have the NASCAR tier. Of course, most people that join iRacing, I think, well, there's probably a lot of road racing people now, but back in the day it was mostly people looking to run NASCAR. So if you want to get into NASCAR, I would start again in the street stocks or the mini stocks, both kind of short track, beating and banging, fendered cars, short races, qualifying very important. You can use your bumpers if you need to. And then from there, D-Class, move to Late Model Fixed or Draft Master. Again, if you just want to run whatever is in Draft Master. I think it rotates between C Trucks, B Xfinity, A Next Gen Cup, and 87s, I think, are the 4. I might be missing some, though. They might use ARCA or some other things in there, because I guess they have 6 weeks of Daytona and 6 weeks of Talladega. Or maybe it's 4 weeks of Daytona, 4 weeks of Talladega, and 4 weeks of iRacing Super Speedway. I don't remember. I haven't run it. I ran it once like a year and a half ago and hated it, and then never ran it again. And then, of course, again, we talked about ARCA earlier. Obviously, it's a stock car. It's a full-body, beaten and banging stock car. ARCA car is very well known as kind of a stepping stone into either trucks or Xfinity, depending on the prospect and who's driving it, whatever. But of course, you are going to visit a variety of tracks in ARCA, whether it be short tracks and little bull ring tracks, and some of the big speedways as well, some 1.5 or 2-mile tracks that they visit on that schedule as well. So a nice kind of mixed series for that. C-Class, Super Late Model Opener Fixed again, fendered car. Gen 4, which again just got a brand new refresh. at the time of recording, I don't know anything about it yet, but I'm sure it's going to be extremely popular and very, very cool to have an authentic Gen 4. So that's going to be an extremely popular series as a destination. I'm sure a lot of people are going to only run that. C Fixed or Open with the trucks. Again, NIS Fixed or Open, the full season long Cup Series season. Street stocks fixed at C class, or the late model stock series open if you're just trying to look at kind of a short track fendered series on your way up. And then B class, B fixed or open using the Xfinity cars or 87s. I think 87s is one of the best 5 series on the sim right now. But again, it's kind of a quirky thing. It's a car from nearly 40 years ago. It has some weird driving quirks to it. It's much different than a lot of other stock cars, especially all the modern stuff, but still very fun. And then, of course, if you're running NASCAR, your goal probably, unless you're me, is to get to Cup, and that's A class fixed or A class open at the top. Still very popular. Again, the next gen drive's kind of quirky at times, but definitely still a destination for a lot of people getting into iRacing and oval racing, especially, and especially if you're trying to run up the NASCAR ladder. So that's kind of the breakdown. Again, I will remember to link the original video that iRacing posted a bunch of years ago in the description down below so that you understand what I'm kind of referring to and talking about. And hopefully this is kind of a nice update on that and a nice tier list to break down. So if you're trying to get into iRacing, you kind of know where to look. So I appreciate you all so much. Have a great day. Make sure you drop that like and sub down below. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you so much for your love and support. I could not do this without all of you. And I hope this was helpful and entertaining. So that's going to be it for me. Till next time, as always, I-Fi.